What's up guys, Chris here with Strength and Steel Reviews, certified personal trainer and lover of all things home gym. Today I'm sharing my 7 favorite power rack attachments that I actually use, attachments that boost workout versatility, improve organization, and enhance overall efficiency. Whether you're building out a rack from scratch or you're just looking to upgrade your setup, this video is for you. These attachments have been total game changers in my training, and I think they'll make a big difference in yours too. Let's get into it. Okay, so maybe you already have a rack, maybe you don't, but what really takes a power rack to the next level are the attachments. And I'm not talking about gimmicky add-ons you'll use twice and forget thereafter. I'm talking about gear that will enhance the quality of your training and make your space more comfortable, which in turn will increase the odds that you'll actually want to train in it, which is more of a problem for many home gym owners than you might think. As always, everything I mentioned will be linked below, and if you've got any other attachments that you recommend, let me know in the comments. Alright, let's kick things off with something that instantly decluttered my setup. The Darko Barbell Anchor. Now, this is my go-to solution for top-mounted bar storage. If you've got specialty bars, leaning in corners, or just lying around desperate for a home, the Darko Barbell Anchor cleans that mess up real fast. Essentially, it bolts directly to the top cross member of your rack, and it holds 2 barbells horizontally. Their placement makes access to either barbell incredibly convenient. If you're pressing or squatting, you just reach up, lower your barbell, and set it upon your J-cups. It's glorious. They also look great, which, yes, I absolutely care about. They're compatible with both 1-inch and 5/8-inch holes, so they will fit most racks out there. And as a nice bonus, you can customize the powder coat color to match your setup, because let's be honest, aesthetics matter more than we care to admit, or some of you at least. I hold no shame in it. Next up is a landmine attachment. If you don't already have one of these yet, well, I advise that you consider getting one. With a landmine, you're not limited to straight up and down movements anymore. You can do a variety of different presses, rows, and you can even squat. It's a super versatile attachment and a great way to add variety without taking up a ton of extra space. Now I use the Rep Fitness landmine attachment, which bolts directly into the side of my Athena rack. It stays completely out of the way when I'm not using it, and when I am, it is rock solid. I primarily use it for bent over rows and overhead presses. Yeah, you can grab one of those cheap rubber landmine sleeves on Amazon for dirt cheap, and they do work. But for me, I want my landmine secure. Rep's version gives me that confidence. Otherwise, there are a variety of other brands that design similarly structured landmine attachments that will serve the same purpose for you. Alright, coming in at number 3 is Bulletproof's Trolley system, also known as the VTS. This is easily one of the most unique and creative attachments I've added to my rack. At a glance, it looks like a simple Smith machine conversion, and it kind of is, but it's way more versatile than your average fixed path bar setup. Using Bulletproof's patented clamp system, the VTS lets you attach almost any bar you want. Olympic bars, cambered bars, their ISO handles, specialty bars, whatever you've got, it probably works. I mostly use mine with the Rogue Ohio bar for Smith style movements like squats, incline presses, and shoulder presses. And it works beautifully for all of those. The movement is smooth, the build quality is solid, and it gives you that fixed bar training option without locking you into just one handle or grip. Now, installation is worth noting. To mount the VTS, you have to slide each trolley over the top of your uprights. If your rack's already loaded up with attachments, cables, or cross members, this can be a serious pain, but if you're setting up your rack for the first time, this is the perfect time to slide the VTS on and make it a part of your build from day one. And it is compatible with most 3x3 racks, but definitely check their website to be sure. All in all, Bulletproof is doing something different here, and in my opinion, it really is paying off. Alright, these next ones are simple, but awesome. Magnetic hole markers for your rack. They're not flashy, but they're absolute game changers when it comes to staying consistent with your setup. Now, I use mine to mark the exact holes for my incline bench, my flat bench, my overhead press, and my squat. And thanks to these, there is no second guessing. You just walk up, you spot your markers, you set your J-cups or your spotter arms, and you get to work. They're color-coded, they're waterproof, and they're easy to move around, which makes dialing in your setup super convenient. That said, full transparency, they're not perfect. They don't actually lock on, so you do have to keep an eye on them. All the brands I've tried so far seem to have the same issue. So if you know of a brand that's nailed this concept and have figured out how to get these things to really stick, let your boy know in the comments. Until then, I'm using mine every session because even with their flaws, they've seriously improved my training flow. Number 5 on my list would be the Massenomics Drink Spotter. Now look, is this a critical piece of training equipment? Absolutely not. But is it one of the most unexpectedly useful attachments that I own? Yes, definitely. I guzzle energy drinks like it's my job, and I'm as good at spilling them as I am at drinking them. This clever device allows me to focus on excelling at the latter rather than the former, of which I am grateful for. The drink spotter bolts directly into your rack and holds your beverage of choice like a champion. It's laser cut from stainless steel, made in the United States, and designed to fit 3x3 uprights with either 5/8 inch holes or 1 inch holes. It's definitely a luxury, not a necessity, but it's one of those little add-ons that makes training at home feel just a bit more dialed in and a bit more like home. Alright, coming in at number 6, let's talk about the Rep Pegasus Seat. This thing gets hyped up a lot, and honestly, for good reason. It's solid, it's well padded, and it has more adjustability than most people will ever need. If you're the kind of lifter who likes to change angles mid-workout, and perhaps you want a seat that also allows you to perform additional exercises like seal rows, the Pegasus Seat gives you that freedom, along with 6 height settings and what Rep claims are 28 total pad configurations. It is indeed versatile, but keep in mind that this thing is also heavy, weighing in at 48 pounds. It's not incredibly maneuverable, and it's not going to be fun to store either. Now, you'll see me using it here in the Repadonis, but the Pegasus Seat was actually designed to work with 3x3 racks as well, even outside of Rep's ecosystem. It uses a UHMW line screw-down clamp that lets you secure it snugly to setups like Rogue's Monster Rack, which is a nice bonus if you're mixing brands in your gym. The Pegasus Seat is indeed bulky, but there's no denying its ingenuity or its functionality. Especially if you seek lat pull-down functionality in your power rack, the Pegasus Seat is worth your consideration. Okay, last up, and I guess this is not technically a rack attachment, but it at least kind of is, because I have them on my pull-up bar all the time. The Kensui Swissies. These neutral grip handles clamp securely onto any pull-up bar or even a barbell, and they're way more versatile than they look. I primarily use them for pull-ups and for rows, but there's a lot you can do with them if you do want to get creative. They've got a grippy rubber lining to prevent slipping and a ridiculous 800-pound weight capacity, which I'll probably never come close to testing, but hey, respect to over-engineering. Also, if your shoulders tend to get cranky, that neutral grip feels way more natural and joint-friendly. And while they're not technically portable, I, again, just leave them mounted all the time. So yeah, they've basically become a part of my rack. So the Swissies to me are simple, they're smart, and they're one of the easiest upgrades that you can make to your upper body training and of course to your rack. Alright, and that's my list. 7 rack attachments that I actually use, love, and certainly recommend to you. If you've got a favorite rack attachment that I didn't cover, drop it in the comments. I'm always hunting for upgrades. Otherwise, hit that like button if this helped out, subscribe if you haven't, and I will catch you in the next one. Stay strong, stay steely, adios.